Hi, welcome to another tutorial from My Coding Place. Go ahead and open Scratch and click Create. Today we're going to be creating a drawing tool using the pen extension. So you'll want to go ahead and create a new project, and in the lower left corner click New and choose Pen. So that's going to give you an additional set of green blocks. Then you'll want to delete the default cat sprite and go to your library and choose a pencil. So in the library, in the search bar, type in pen, and you'll be able to find the pencil tool. Double click on that to add it to your workspace. Then we're going to start coding with when flat clicked, and you'll have a forever block. And within there, you'll go to mouse pointer. So drag out the go to and change the drop down to mouse pointer from the default. Then below going to mouse pointer, drag an if, then else block, and inside the condition, choose mouse down from the sensing, then pen up and pen down from the pen tools. So if the mouse is down, the pen should be down, and if the mouse is up, the pen should be up. We'll go ahead and fix the color later, but first we need to change the pen. So go under Costumes, select the pen, and change the placement. So this makes sure that the ink comes out of the tip of the pencil and not the center of the sprite. So you want to select the pencil and drag it so it's pointing towards the middle of the screen. Once that's done, then you're going to actually create your palette, your color palette. So instead of selecting from the library, you'll select Draw from your sprite tools, and what we're going to do is use the square tools. So go ahead and click the square and click into your workspace and leave the fill as purple for now. We can change that later. But you're going to drag this about as big as you see on my screen. And that's going to create a square for one color. So we're going to change that color to red now. And then what we're going to do after we change this color to red is we're going to duplicate this sprite. So if you right click on the sprite, you can choose duplicate. I'm going to duplicate this once for each color, meaning 4 additional times. And that will give us 4 squares in our workspace, 5 in total. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to change the color of each square. I'm happy with the red one, so I'm going to select the second square and change that to orange. So you want to change the fill color first, then select the paint bucket tool and click on the square, which will change its color. So I'm going to do that for orange, yellow, green, and blue. You can choose whatever shades you like, and later we'll change the pencil color to the color on the palette. Now I'm going to go ahead and rearrange my palette at the bottom of the screen, and I'm going to line them up in the order of the colors in the rainbow. So it's going to be red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. And I will leave some space at the end for an eraser tool. So to create the eraser, we go back to Draw again, and this time choose the circle. So we're going to change our fill to pink, the color of the eraser, and then click on the screen and drag out a oval shape. Now if you select the pointer next to the pointer on the left side, this is a tool that lets you round the corners. So you'll want to select the outline of the circle or the oval, and that lets it be dragged out. So this is how you can form a rounded circle or a square with rounded corners. Next, I'm going to choose the text tool, and I'm going to change the color of the text so it's black. Then I'm going to click in the shape and type the word eraser, and then select the pointer and drag the eraser text to the center of the shape. Next, I'm going to go to the sprite area and click on the eraser. I can drag it around, and I'm going to change the direction so that it fits into my palette. So to change the direction, I select the direction area above the sprites, and I make it point down, so now the eraser can be nicely fit into my palette at the bottom. Alright, so next I'm going to add code to each of the squares. And each of the squares will have 2 blocks of code. When this sprite clicks, broadcast a message. And the message that is broadcast for each square is going to match the color of the square. So drag out broadcast, then I'm going to select new message and type in red for the red square. And then to make this easier, I'm going to just drag these 2 blocks into each square. And then I will just change the name of the message to match the color of the square. So red is correct now. I'll click on orange, and I will change that from red to new message and type in the word orange. And I'll do this for yellow. Select new message, type in yellow, and do the same for green and blue. So what this will do is send a message to the pencil so that the pencil knows what color was selected. And you can do the same for eraser and broadcast an erase message. So once that's done, we're going to add code on the pencil to detect when a message is received, so it'll know to change the color. So click on the pencil sprite and add sections of code. When I receive a certain color, then in a forever block, go to the pen tools and set the pen color to the color of the square. Then you can right click on that and duplicate that section of code 4 additional times, once for each color, and then you'll change the color inside the set pen color to block. Now, in order to get the matching color, there's a dropper at the bottom of the color selection area, and you'll want to select that dropper, and then a circle appears that lets you go to the palette and select the exact shade, so you don't have to worry that the colors won't match. Okay, and then the eraser tool should say when I receive erase, you want to choose erase all from the pen tools. Okay, and then the last set of blocks we need is to clear the palette with the erase all block. So when I start the game, make sure the canvas is clear with erase all. Today, you learned to use the pen extension and broadcast messages in order to build a drawing tool. Please like, subscribe, and follow for more tutorials. Have a great day.